I'm from Mount Bellew in County Galway, and I went to school in Holy Rosary College, Mount Bellew, and after that I went to NUI Galway, where I studied Spanish and politics. My educational qualifications are BA International in Spanish and Sociological Political Studies in NUI Galway, followed by a Master European Affairs in Lund University in Sweden. I was always interested in Europe as a concept, the European Union, but particularly I got interested as a job option when I did my Erasmus study abroad year in Granada in Spain, because I really liked being in the international setting, meeting people from different backgrounds, different cultures. I studied German and Irish in secondary school, and like a lot of Irish students, I suppose I probably struggled a bit with them, and I didn't think I was particularly good at languages. But I still decided to do Spanish in university, just to try it. And when I went and lived in Spain, being immersed in the language gave me a great love for the language. I work in the European Parliament in Brussels and also 1 week a month in Strasbourg. A parliamentary advisor assists and advises an MEP in all aspects of their job. The Parliament is like an enormous university campus with slightly older people. It's got a gym, it's got a massive canteen, it's got shops, it's got banks. It's got a lot of committee rooms that look like lecture theatres, and it's got thousands of offices across a dozen floors. So it's a very big, active place. It's like a little town in itself, or like a big university campus. The main tasks and responsibilities of a parliamentary assistant are to help the MEP on their work on important committees in the Parliament, also to help with MEPs communicating to the constituents in Ireland, and finally to organise the MEP's broader agenda, meetings and so on. An example of the work would be helping draft the new data protection laws that will cover all 500 million people in Europe. And it's time to write a law that offers protection to citizens whilst allowing innovation in the online environment. A typical day in the European Parliament begins with a meeting with the MEP to discuss the day's agenda, followed by typically a committee meeting. After that, there could be a lunch meeting with some visitors from Ireland. In the afternoon, there could be meetings with stakeholders such as farm groups, environmental groups. And then in the evening, there's usually further events, informal events dealing with issues such as animal welfare or other issues of importance to citizens. I went about getting this job by starting by becoming an intern or a trainee in an MEP's office. From there, I developed experience to apply for an opening as a parliamentary assistant. I had a series of interviews with the prior staff of the MEP and also the MEP himself, where they asked me about my skills in relation to my knowledge of EU law, EU politics, but also my ability just to work hard. Languages are definitely an advantage for working in the EU, particularly the larger languages, French and German, Spanish, but don't rule out Irish. Irish is very important. It can be considered a second language, but in reality, most of the work done in Brussels is done through English. The most important aspect of my education for my current role is a knowledge and skills I learnt on my master's program in Sweden. It taught me about negotiation and decision making in the EU. It taught me about some of the different EU policies, and above all, it gave me a flavour of how the EU works and possibly doesn't work. There are many advantages for working in an organisation like the EU. You are in a very international environment. It is very interesting and dynamic. No 2 days are the same. You get to test yourself negotiating with people from other countries. You get a sense that you're representing your own country, and also you develop a broader outlook on the world. The salaries in the EU are very good. They're very competitive. There's no doubt about that. So it is considered one of the attractions of working in Brussels. There's a great social life for a young Irish person living and working in Brussels. We have the great Belgium GAA club, which is the biggest and strongest club in Europe. We travel around Europe playing in tournaments against our local rivals. Luxembourg is the next parish over. Amsterdam isn't too far away. We play football and hurling, and we invite people of all nationalities to play, and we invite people from all corners of Ireland to play as well if they want to. My advice for those who are interested in working in the EU is to be proactive, to look for the areas that you have an interest in, whether it's the environment, human rights, economics, and to find MEPs or interest groups that specialise in those interests, and to take the initiative, send them your CV, make a phone call to their office. Your CV is on their file, it might work for you in 6 months, but keep applying and be proactive.